A brief history of how we as an organization, Kids Against Hunger, came to be who we are today. In September of 1974, Hurricane Fifi ravaged Central America. This hurricane was so deadly that the Weather Association that names hurricanes has retired the name Fifi. 8,000 people came to their demise from this terrible storm, and Honduras was the one country that was hit by far the worst. Now, our founder, Richard Proudfoot, was an engineer in the Minneapolis area, doing quite well for himself as a self-made man, having 6 plastic mold injection companies under his command. His church tapped him on the shoulder that fall and said, "Richard, we want you to come with us with your engineering skills to help rebuild the infrastructure in Honduras, specifically the medical buildings." Richard said, "I'm your man, let's go." And so with his congregation, they went down to Honduras to help rebuild these people. When he got down there, he worked like a dog, 18, 20-hour days, tirelessly trying to put together what semblance they could of civilization because of this terrible storm. 3 or 4 days after doing this kind of work, he needed just a break. He said, "I just need to step away. Just give me a little break." And so he stepped away, and immediately the little Honduran children came up to him, recognizing he wasn't from the area. Said, Mister, please, do you have any food? I got to get something for my little brother. Do you have any food?" Because you got to understand, this storm was completely devastating. It wiped out over half of all the agricultural exports that Honduras takes care of, and it took out 95% of their banana crops for that year. This storm was brutal. And Richard, having empathy for these people already coming down there, and then seeing these starving children, his heart was broken, and he knew he had to do something. After completing his engineering work, he came back to the Minneapolis area and had friends in the grocery business and said, "Hey, we can do something. You guys have leftover groceries. You've got something. Let's go." And so they loaded up a container and he shipped it down there. Richard came back a few months later to the village that he was at and wanted to see the happy children that had received the food that he had shipped down there. And to his shock, what he found was a lot of the children had died. And he talked to the village elder. He's like, "What's going on? I sent you guys food. What happened?" And they were very respectful and said, "Sir, we really appreciate all of your efforts, and we know you love the Honduran people, and we love the fact that you are here to help us. But our kids are suffering from starvation and malnutrition, and the food that you sent filled their bellies, but it did not build their bodies." And Richard was devastated by the fact that he thought he was doing good, but Ho-Hos and Twinkies weren't meeting the gap that these kids actually needed. With a fire in his belly, he came back and worked with food scientists and corporations. He said, look, we got to take down the corporate walls. We've got a problem here. We have to address this. And so corporations like General Mills, ADM, Pillsbury, and Cargill came together, and it took them 4 years to develop this formula that you're going to pack today. So we've taken a lot of time to make sure we're doing something that is going to be a benefit to the children on the big picture. Our first ingredient that we're going to talk about is our vitamin mix. This vitamin mix is a specially designed vitamin so that, 1, it is easily soluble for the body no matter what state of malnutrition they're in, and 2, it's specifically designed for neurological development and helping boost the immunization, which these kids need. The second product that we're going to add in here is our fortified soy. Now, this just isn't normal run-of-the-mill soy. This is supercharged soy. There is more protein in 1 pound of our soy than 3 pounds of beef. Protein is what those building bodies need. Our third item that we're going to add is our vegetables. Why? Because Mama always said, eat your veggies. There's 6 dehydrated vegetables in here, adding great nutrition and great flavor. The final product, and this is always last, and you'll find out why here in just a little bit, but always last is the rice. And that is because everybody in the world knows how to cook rice. Even if they can't read or can't read English, it doesn't matter what's on the bag. They look inside it, they see rice, they know, put it in the water, you boil it up. There we are, is a brief history of how we got to be who we are today.